There are many theories to explain the developments in China and the urban transformation in China, like the neoliberal idea, like the urban regime from the American researchers. I choose one of it, maybe from the papers I sent to you. That will be one you can have some more ideas of how different theories can explain how China is developed. So the theory I focus in this part is the developmental state. So the development state actually is what we call of the Asian tigers, or actually the five from Japan, South Korea, and to Taiwan, and to Hong Kong and Singapore. They have a very specific ways to lift up themselves from poverty after the Second World War, especially with some specific policies. Have you ever heard of this development state term? Okay. I can give you a little bit more explanation. In the most Anglo-Saxon system, or even in the welfare state in the Netherlands, probably to a less extent, the private sector has played a very important role in the economic development. But in these countries, the state has played a very important initial role in the development of economic policies or to direct economic growth. What kind of sectors should we focus on? What kind of sectors should we invest in? This is much more dominated by government. It's not so much the focus as was in the United States. Don't bother with us, the government. We don't like you. You should be away. It's leave it to the market. No, this is not what they believe in the development state. So what they do is they focus on economic growth. Actually, it's become for them is like obsessed with economic development, especially after the Second World War. Another thing is although the public sector dominate or initiate the economic policy, they cannot work alone. They have to work together with the market sector. So this is quite interesting relationship, especially with the pervasive globalization process. Private sector have a lot more space to maneuver themselves and to play the game as well. So they also become stronger. So who is going to attract more investment? It depends a lot on how you can build the trust with the market players. And in this case, a network strategy has been very important for this development state to build a good relationship between the public sector and the private sector. This strategy can be used like a special economic zone to attract the market players, or some specific policies to attract the investor, like a deduction of tax or a cheaper land policy, or some other promise that they can make in order to make the commitment settle down with the private sector. And one of the last but not least, characters about the development of the development state is a selective strategy. What do you mean by selective? That is, there is a limited amount of money, resources, and probably even people that you can make use of. There are so many places you need to invest. And where do you make the choice? And for them, it's very normal to select a certain area as priority area and to put fully of their money to bet on this place will become a future prosperity area, and this area will be a catalyst area for the further development of the whole region. So that's how it works. So what they build up is a special economic zone first, and starting from the special economic zone, their economic development is going spreading. And especially this characteristic of the development state have a very big consequence on China's development. So if you look at it, and it fits quite well with the political system what is right now, and that's why China has also quite much, because of the political system has emphasis on the one party and on very strong public sector's role in urban development as well as in economic development. So in this case, we can also see the obsession of economic development is not only for the state, for the central state of China to focus on, but it's also the special focus of the local state, of the local government in each of the cities. GDP and economic growth, economic functions development has become quite important for the last 30 years. There are some changes. If you go there, you may see it. And I even hear that there's a new disaster area. You probably won't go there, Yushu, in Qinghai. They will already have a new redevelopment plan and they will focus on the sustainability for the future. But this is a story for later on. But in the 1980s and 1990s, the economic development is still the central issue. There has been some changes in terms of public sectors. In the other countries and the regions, because the scale is very small, so the central state have a very, very important role in deciding what kind of policy should be done, what kind of economic sector should be formulated or should be stimulated. And in China, because it's so big, and I was said just now, it's so differentiated. If you go to one area that is different from where you are going, you probably don't understand what you're talking about. You have no idea about the language or the dialect. And even the written is completely different. There are 26 different written languages. So there are a lot of differences there. So in this case, the public sector role has been shared by the central government and the local government. The central government decides a lot about the big visions and how can they coordinate between different local municipalities and provinces. And the local state have to really fight for their own good, for their own fortune. But it's kind of conflict and coordinate situation. So there is not a forever conflict, there is not a forever coordination relation or compromise relation. In the end, most of the solution has been solved based on compromise between each other. You will also see it later on in the case I introduced. And working together with the market, I think is very difficult for China, especially because the market just was recognized at the end of the 1970s. Before it was an allocating system. But after that, the market was introduced, especially when foreign direct investment coming in. They don't need to pay any money for the land, for using of the land. It's just really ridiculous if you think about this in the Dutch context. So, but how to build up a relationship and especially trust with the private sector, I think has been a long-term difficult thing in China. This involves all kinds of things, including changing of regulation, changing of organization and administrative procedures, and a lot of other things that you have to provide something to make the private sector commit. So you will see later on in the case as well. And for the last things, I think probably it's the most obvious